I think what I'd learned most from Piaget is that the essence of learning is appropriation. And the essence of learning something is making it yours, is taking it in and integrating it into your way of being and thinking and seeing things. I did not understand at the beginning the importance of the tremendous difference in styles between children. It was only in the course of the logo experience itself that I came to understand how very different the paths that different children would follow as soon as you created an environment in which they could proceed in different directions. And we now see children, I think we see quite clearly that children can learn mathematics in radically different ways, some through movement and some through static designs. The difference between sprite logo and classical turtle geometry is a beautiful example of something that has very different reactions from different children. Some like the movement and the dramatic action, others like the detail and the precision. And, well, we should be able to offer each individual the opportunity to learn in a way that just feels right and is right in terms of the particular style of thinking and learning. When we think of building a computer culture in our schools, that's building a learning culture imbued with computational ideas, we have a responsibility to see to it that the version of computer culture that gets in there is not an arbitrary stereotype that was made up by some computer scientist somewhere or some people in industry who decided that the right way to get software written is to adopt assembly line techniques of highly structured production of programs and have persuaded the world that that's the way to do programming, and this gets injected into our school system, which is expected to prepare programmers to go off and make software on software assembly lines. And, you know, whatever the rights and wrongs of these strategies for the software industry might be, as educators we cannot allow that kind of process to determine the model of programming and the model of the use of computers that colors the computer culture in our schools.
Well, other than the advantages of programming, what other kinds of things come out of working in a logo environment? What other kinds of advantages?
When we talk about styles in painting and in writing, it's hard to make really concrete to somebody who hasn't already understood it the objective part of what has to be done, whatever style you adopt. In the computer context, one has the advantage of an easily stated, concrete, objective way of judging whether the program, irrespective of style, is acceptable. It has to work to begin with. So that when we discuss with children the question of style in the context of programming, we can look at the different programs that different people in the class have written. We can compare them. We can bring out the fact that some were written in a highly analytic, top-down, very structured way. Others were written in a looser style, but they worked. We see very clearly what is not permissible. It's not permissible to make programs that don't do anything. So, through the experience of programming, we can draw children and teachers into a discussion of style, of differences of style, of how they express each individual's desires and each individual's way of being and way of working. At the same time, we can easily focus on the element of objectivity, on the criterion that overrides the choice of style. You are writing a program in order to get results. So I've found that programming provides a context in which the issue of style, the personalized aspect and the overriding objective accountability aspect can be discussed in a particularly concrete way and can be carried over from this discussion into other more traditional areas.
You've often said that as more and more computers become commonplace in our schools, then the structure of the schools will change. Do you expect this new culture to change our children as well?
Much of my research has been about finding ways to personalize knowledge, helping people articulate what they know inside themselves about the way that they themselves think. This is what Logo is really about. It's about making learning environments in which people can think and learn in personal ways, which they can talk to one another about how they do it, which they can share with one another, both what is the same and what is different. People often ask, how will Logo change children? I have a slightly paradoxical answer. It shouldn't change them. It should let them be what they are. We do too much of futile attempts in schools to impose change on children. Why do you want this new instrument to do some more?